just a whole new environment that we're really dealing with. The amount of revenue that you see downtown generate is orders of magnitude higher than most of the city. An economic development strategy citywide should include the economic engine and driver of downtown.
Hello, London. I'm Matt Brown, and you're listening to the Matt Brown Podcast. We've got another great show for you today. It's an abridged version of the second interview that's airing on Newsmakers. That's the twice-monthly show that I host on Rogers Television, and it's showing right now. David Ferreira, the Ward 7 City Councillor, joins us to talk about the City of London's downtown plan development process. If you're a regular listener, you'll know that this is the downtown plan that Graham Henderson, CEO of the London Chamber of Commerce, referred to when he joined the podcast a couple of weeks ago to talk economic development. And if you're new around here, don't worry, you can check out that show at themattbrownpodcast.com. David is the second of hopefully many sitting members of council to join this podcast. He's got a lot to say, and I'll tell you all about it right after this.
Winter's here. It's time to discover the Bicycle Cafe. Cozy up with our daily soup and sandwich, or unwind with an evening latte and Dutch comfort food. London Bicycle Cafe at the Forks of the Thames. See you soon.
It's been said, city's downtown is its calling card to the world, and London is no exception. Here's why. Geographically, London's core represents less than 1% of the city's overall space, and at the same time, the core is responsible for over 5% of overall tax assessment. It's a closed economic ecosystem, so when the core thrives, there's more money generated for greener parks from Westmount to Huron Heights to Argyle, from Sunningdale to Oldies Village to Wortley and Westminster ponds, and neighbourhoods all in between. It can mean better roads with fewer potholes across the city, and the dollars and cents generated from downtown can also help keep taxes affordable, because new assessment growth can cover the costs associated with running a city that would otherwise be paid for by existing property tax payers. The downtown is the heart of the city. It's the meeting place for arts and music, culture, and creative communities. The Grand Theatre, the Covent Garden Market, Canada Life Place, Victoria Park, Centennial Hall, Museum London, RBC Place, Dundas Place, and the multi-use pathway system that links the Forks of the Thames to every neighbourhood right across the city. These are all examples of city investments that have attracted all kinds of private and not-for-profit and institutional sector investments too. That's billions of dollars in construction for thousands of apartments in the core. Fanshawe College opening its downtown campus, London Music Hall, the Boys and Girls Club, the YMCA and the Aeolian Hall, 100 Kellogg's Lane and the Hard Rock Hotel, and countless more. Plus, restaurants, shops, and other businesses that make investments of their own right here in the city's core too. There is no question, the core is down right now, but it's not out. The COVID years did significant damage. The homelessness and addiction crisis that is impacting London's core, just like it's impacting cities right across Ontario and Canada, is a challenge too. But the good news, people are returning, and people are moving downtown by the thousands. Just this month, TD announced the return of 2,500 employees. Conventions have returned to RBC Place. Covent Garden Market is booming. So is Western Fair Market. Canada Life Place is sold out on a regular basis. And at the same time, there are more high-rises and more cranes in the sky on a regular basis, bringing thousands more Londoners to the core for the first time. So with all this happening, London City Council is conducting a review of the strategies they have in place. It's called the Downtown Plan, and it's happening right now. Here to talk about it today is Ward 13 Councillor David Ferreira. David, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me, Matt. Appreciate to be here.
Let's get right into it. Council's taking a look and updating their plans for London downtown. What can you tell us about that?
Well, you know, it's a new day. It's lots of changes, lots of dynamics going on in the last few years specifically, and it's just a whole new environment that we're really dealing with. So, you know, we've heard downtown's had its challenges over the last few decades. But I really believe that it's something that we need to kind of get a grasp on and kind of just make sure that we have a rudder on the ship and turn the ship in the right direction and just make sure that we're positioned in a way that just brings downtown to its true potential and lifts it up to where it could be. So the plan itself, we obviously need a coordinated approach for that. So basically, I brought the plan to council at the beginning of the term. Thank God council approved it. Right now, we're in the development of it, and that's just basically to let us know what the true assets of downtown are, how to leverage those assets, how to identify gaps in certain areas of downtown, make sure we have those connections, and just make downtown more attractive, more vibrant. And I know you've heard those things before. It's basically something that would give us like a navigation map on how it is that we should proceed moving forward to make sure downtown gets raised and lifted to where it should be.
For sure. Okay. Now, can you tell us where you are in the process right now as a council? And is there an opportunity for community members, for Londoners to get involved as well?
Yeah, there was a whole bunch of engagement sessions, especially on the first phase. The Get Involved page is open, and we're now in the second phase. So we had the background study come through to council, which basically identified the assets that downtown has and how to leverage them, and different ideas. They're hinting at different actions that could be taken. And some of the actions are very important for me. Big ones and small ones, and just the whole spectrum of actions that you can take. Right now, we are waiting for the final report coming in Q2. And that will actually have the initiatives there, but there is going to be engagement sessions with that. We're having another engagement for downtown with specific stakeholders coming up in the next few days, actually. And there is a way to just go onto the Get Involved portal. You can still submit your feedback. You can submit your feedback to me as well personally, and then or to my city email, and I can also send that forward to the Canadian Urban Institute who's doing the development.
Okay. And the Get Involved page that's on the london.ca website?
That's right. Yeah.
Okay.
You can just type in Google, City of London, Get Involved Downtown Plan.
Okay.
You should be able to find it like that.
Great. And so I guess what I want to ask you from a city councillor perspective, but also from a Londoner perspective, why is this important to you, and why should it matter to Londoners that might live far, far away from the downtown?
Well, that's a great question. First, I would say downtown is the face of London. I say this all the time. It's the look of how people outside of London look into London, whether that's business attraction, investment, employment attraction and investment. And it basically will show the health of the city. Really, when people are looking at cities, they do look at downtown. That is the biggest look that they do. It's important in a way because it's an economic driver of the city, really. It's a driver of everything. And the amount of revenue, and I say this at council a lot, the amount of revenue that you see downtown generate, especially when you consider the geographic area that it's in, and the amount of, I guess, dollars per square foot of space in downtown is orders of magnitude higher than most of the city. And that revenue actually is used out for community benefits throughout the entire city. So whether it's sidewalks, community centers, parks, playgrounds, roads, infrastructure, anything, we subsidize the costs for all of that. And whether you are a frequenter of downtown or not, and I would say you should frequent downtown because it is a good place and there's great people there and there's a lot of things to offer. You will benefit from that, from your property taxes alone. Like I hear a lot of Londoners say, we need to find ways to make things more affordable, more cheaper, especially on the property tax base. And if you were to invest in that natural asset that we have in the city, you will subsidize property taxation throughout the citywide. So it will actually depress the amount of property taxes that you pay, and you will get the benefits from that subsidization that downtown would be able to provide. So I usually kind of phrase it like this, like downtown is the flagship of the city. And any company, any corporation, they invest in their flagship because that's the moneymaker. So the big thing when you want to invest into downtown, which I'm always trying to push on council to do, is the return on investment will be orders of magnitude more than your investment. So the benefits of that economic portion alone is substantial. On top of that, just like I said, with the face of London, how it looks, the attraction, and things to do. It's multifaceted on the benefits that you can do with that. So this is why it's so important, if I'm able to concisely say in a short period of time.
For sure. And, full disclosure, I live downtown. I walk everywhere. I absolutely love London's downtown. It's a great, vibrant feel to it anytime and anywhere you go. Also, when you see a crane in the sky downtown, that really is that high-rise building that is, they're phenomenally tall these days. is a very large subdivision, but it's a subdivision in the sky. So it's also, I think, from a lot of different perspectives, it's a different way to live. You have less of an environmental impact, perhaps, on your community, and you have a greater economic impact on your community. I wanted to ask you about something that went before council very recently. And at the same time as the downtown plan is unfolding, there's a London-wide economic development strategy that's underway as well. And this, again, is a council initiative. It has almost identical timing with this one, but some are concerned that the two plans aren't really talking to each other, if you get what I mean.
It's my concern.
Yeah, sure. And so recently you brought forward a motion asking for an extra pillar to be introduced to that ECDEV strategy that included downtown as the title of that pillar. And you asked for a couple of other things too. Council, well, they didn't defeat your motion, but they didn't pass it either. It was referred to Deloitte, the outside consultant that has been brought on board to do this ECDEV strategy for your city council. Can you tell us about why you brought that motion forward, how you're feeling about it being referred and not approved, and what you hope happens next?
Well, that was a big, long discussion on that. The reason I brought it forward, I guess I'd start there, would be as pillar status, and I asked the representation from Deloitte that was there at committee, what does pillar status mean? And it's the exact same reason why, as I wanted to bring it as a pillar. And that basically will signal to the city of what our intentions and what our priorities are. And it signals to the region and outside of London as well what the priorities are. But the big aspect of that would be the material benefit that you'd see from that, because downtown is the flagship of the city. It just needs support by words. It needs support by action, and it needs support by action that translates into a material benefit. So basically what I'm saying is I'd like to see business cases coming on the next council term, in the next multi-year budget, that support some of the actions that you see in the downtown plan. Bringing it up as the pillar status would ensure that, because the things that are in the pillars are really of the priority of where we will actually invest our money. That was the argument that I was making. And going back to the economic benefits of that and how it is a citywide thing is really what I was trying to deliver. With some of the issues that some councillors brought up, I'm sure, I don't know if it's a misunderstanding. I was very clear on what I was saying. I did ask the Deloitte rep, what does that mean? They confirmed that. But in the end, you know, I really wanted to show that an economic development strategy citywide should include the economic engine and driver of downtown, because it does promote and help the economic health and vitality of the city.
I got it.
So
we've got about a minute left.
Yeah.
And that minute is yours. Time is not our friend, and it can really fly during these interviews.
Yeah.
But I want to make sure that you've got the floor for that final 60 seconds.
Okay, well, I guess what I would say would be, you know, people are talking about what are the issues of downtown. You know, is it commercial? Is it office workers not necessarily working in the core and flex work? Is it homelessness? You know, is it a multitude of things? And yes, these are all issues of the downtown. But I would flag, I think the biggest issue when it comes with downtown would be the political will on council. I really would like to see the political will on council show that we recognize that this is something that will benefit the entire city in so many different areas: culture, heritage, the economic health, as I was speaking to. And if we invest into that, like I was saying before, you will see it pay in orders of magnitude for years and decades to come.
That is a great spot to leave it.
Okay.
Thanks, David, for coming on the show.
Yeah, thanks a lot. Thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
Winter is here. Time to discover Bicycle Cafe. Cozy up with our daily soup and sandwich, or unwind with an evening latte and Dutch comfort food. London Bicycle Cafe at the Forks of the Thames. See you soon.
Okay, that's the show. As always, I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you know a little bit more about Downtown City Councillor, Councillor David Ferreira, and Council's plans for the downtown in the weeks, months, and years ahead than you did a half an hour ago. Thanks to David for joining us today, and thank you for tuning in. This show is for you. In fact, we couldn't do it without you. And as always, we do want to hear from you. You can write us at the mattbrownpodcast@gmail.com. Tell us what you think. Tell us what you'd like us to cover in a future episode. And thanks to everyone who's already doing this. The back and forth has been great. So that's the show. I'm Matt Brown, and you've been listening to the Matt Brown Podcast. It's the show about all things London and maybe some other stuff too. As always, thanks for listening. Bye for now, and talk to you again soon.